Okay, when I first saw this article, I thought, I got to cover this because this is the perfect example of tripping over dollars to pick up dimes, and I'll explain that in a second. NASA investigates the first allegation of criminal activity in space. Astronaut is accused of accessing her wife's bank account, that is not a typo, and I'm not going to make a comment on it, from the International Space Station during their messy divorce. NASA is looking into claims that an astronaut accessed her estranged wife's bank account from space during a 6-month stint on the International Space Station. Decorated astronaut and U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Annie McClain has been accused of improperly gaining access to Summer Warden's online bank account using NASA computers, the New York Times reported. McClain allegedly accessed the bank account as part of a highly calculated and manipulated campaign to obtain custody of Warden's son, who she had given birth to about a year before the couple got married. There's a highly calculated and manipulated campaign going on, all right, but this is not the one we should concern ourselves with, and we'll deal with that in a minute. Warden, a former Air Force intelligence officer, brought a complaint against McClain with the Federal Trade Commission, claiming that McClain had committed identity theft even though none of Warden's funds had been tampered with. She told the Times that she discovered McClain's actions after becoming curious about how McClain knew details about the way she'd been spending her money, even though they were separated and McClain was orbiting the Earth. Warden's parents went a step further, filing a complaint against McClain with NASA's Office of Inspector General, alleging identity theft and improper access to Warden's private financial records. Now, the reason I keep highlighting this identity theft and private financial records is they think there was a crime that occurred in space, and they call it the first crime to occur in space. This is not the first crime to occur in space. The first crime to occur, quote unquote, in space is a continuous crime that keeps on going. It's the crime that keeps on giving. Let me explain. Do you know how much it costs Americans to keep NASA afloat every single day? Well, let's take a look over here. After months of unrelated political turmoil, multiple stopgap spending bills, and an unprecedented government shutdown that stuttered the U.S. space program for 35 days, legislation providing NASA's 2019 budget was finally signed into law today. This is a law, guys. Remarkably, NASA did very well in the end. How well did it do? Congress provided $21.5, not million, but billion dollars to NASA in fiscal year 2019. So what is $21.5 billion divided by 365 equal? $21.5 billion divided by 365 equals almost $60 million a day to keep NASA, quote unquote, orbiting the Earth. And they call this the first crime in space. This right here, this little intrusion into private financial records and identity theft, there's a theft going on, all right. But it's a theft of the American people by the U.S. government on behalf of NASA. That's the theft going on. That's the tripping over dollars to pick up dimes. Last week, McClain, who is back on terra firma, sat down for an under oath interview with the Inspector General, during which she was said to have admitted that she did access Warden's banking information. I say, so what? Yeah, if this is a crime between them, that's between them. But there's a huge crime going on between the elites of the United States and the American people, and it's going on every single day to the tune of $60 million. Okay, $58.9 million every single day. $21.5 billion every single year is being stolen from us for the fake program called NASA. So while people think this is a big story, the larger story is the huge financial raping that is going on in the bank accounts of every American in this country. If you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, and share them with everybody you know.